This is Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, highlighting the office and deputies dedicated to providing law enforcement services and maintaining the trust and support of Rockingham County citizens, all while keeping neighborhoods and communities safe.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. I'm your host for today's show, Sergeant Kevin Southard, Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office. And the studio with me today is Sheriff Sam Page. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Now, we are broadcasting from our studio in Wentworth, North Carolina, and we want to welcome all of our fellow Rockingham County residents to the broadcast, as well as everyone tuning in globally now that we've gone to the podcast version of our show. Sheriff,
throughout the worldwide.
We are worldwide at this point. So, Sheriff, let's just jump in. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover for this month's segment, our May 2020 segment of Sheriff Spotlight. I think what is on everyone's mind at this point is COVID-19 and the effects that it's having on Rockingham County, our residents, our economy, our social lives, and so on and so forth. So why don't you take us back to
March.
Back to March,
yeah.
and bring us to where we are today.
Well, we're at a time in America where we haven't seen anything like this. Even I as a growing up as a kid in Rockingham County to the present, I've never saw anything like this and stuff. So there's a lot of territory that we've never covered.
It's unprecedented time.
Unprecedented time. But when we first started, the attention was brought to the COVID-19 situation, the pandemic. You were hearing a lot of this was in China. A lot of issues with the virus was in China. People were getting sick over there. And then you started seeing it spread around the country here in Italy and Spain and all these other countries and stuff like this. South Korea, North Korea and stuff like that. And it's just a matter of time that it hit our shores in Washington and Oregon State.
Right.
And then for some reason it seemed like it was just a quick jump to New York City.
Right.
And so we were listening. I've always told people that, in our work in public safety, you prepare for the worst. Okay, I know a lot of times you base things on what you've had in the past, but you prepare for the worst, and if it never comes, you're ahead of the game.
Exactly.
And so what I was seeing was a lot of conversation as you started seeing people getting sick. Of course, everybody wanted to know how it was spread, how it came about, how it was spread, where was it coming from, and who was susceptible to getting sick and stuff like this. So it's been a lot of information that's come out. But I first want to give kudos to the Rockingham County Health Department. Susan Young, who is our health director, interim health director, Felissa Farrell, who's with Department of Social Services, director over all those services, and also our county manager, Lance Metzler.
They've been fantastic.
Fantastic. With the support of the county commissioners, have done a great job in working with us in public safety at the Sheriff's Office, working together to develop some protocols to better protect the citizens of Rockingham County. And then, of course, each individual community, Madison, Mayodan, Eden, Reidsville, Wentworth, Stoneville, have all, I haven't lived with anybody, have worked together individually and communicating. We started with having meetings and this was interesting, every Monday through Friday we were having meetings at 10 o'clock, our COVID-19 task force with the county government. We would meet, and then over a short period of time, there were meetings with teleconferencing with the municipalities, the mayors, city managers, and stuff like this. Good communications, and then as we started developing, everybody started developing safety programs and stuff with recommendations from the state CDC and also from the federal CDC. So we've moved a long ways here in the past little over 2 months, and we're getting ready to come up on June. And I think the big question is tomorrow, coming up Friday, is the governor, are we moving to phase 2 of the process?
Yes.
Phase 2 will allow opportunities, my understanding, for some restaurants to open at like 50% capacity, continued social distancing, the cleaning and those conversations. but I think we're moving in a good direction, and I'm
I
hoping
believe hair salons and gyms.
hair salons.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, I was looking at your haircut, and a lot of people don't realize this, but you and I have learned how to do something over the past 2 months.
Yes, we've had to learn how to cut our own hair.
We
Yes.
have, and we do not profess to be good at it.
No,
but we've tried.
No,
But
yes.
but again, you know, a lot of businesses, and I will go into that, is a lot of businesses were shut down during the initial stage of the COVID-19, and unfortunately, a lot of businesses some may not come back.
Right.
And I know that at the federal level, there's been a stimulus program working with Congress and the President to pump some money out into the economy, trillions of dollars out into the economy, to help our citizens be able to maintain and to get through this period. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I'm sure it doesn't come as quick as it's needed and stuff like this. So I'm hoping that we can get back to normal. I'm hoping that our businesses that have been shut down can get back to work and open up, such as our hairstylist salons and stuff like this, and other businesses that were previously not allowed to operate, because we don't want to see these people. These most businesses in our community are small businesses,
Right?
And
they're the backbone of the community.
They are, and
Absolutely.
we don't want to see them going out. And so I feel for these businesses and stuff. Just last week. We had a situation with the churches and stuff like this. The North Carolina Sheriff's Association Executive Committee have been communicating to the governor's office about concerns, and one of the big concerns that hit also was religious freedoms. Mm-hmm. And I've got a letter here that last Friday I sent out, and basically I put the information out and let the public know that we've been communicating with the governor's office, and we asked for some certain concerns. One is not to consider not to have one standard for businesses and retail business and not have another for church and freedom of religion.
Right.
And apparently there were some faith organizations that did sue the governor's office. And of course, and I took the position that myself and my deputies, we took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, and we would do just that.
Right.
And we have stood by that. And again, on Saturday, following this Friday letter, a federal judge by last name of Deaver, ruled that churches could operate, and you can't have a double standard. And I like what the judge said, to take a little quote from what he said in the article, was he said that there's no exception for pandemic with the Constitution. The Constitution stands all the time for the American people. So again, we support the citizens we serve. We support the Constitution. We're designed to protect the citizens dealing with government, and the federal judge. I'm just appreciative of his ruling. And I hope that the governor will continue to move forward, and these businesses will be back to that, will be able to open back up so they can get back to normal and generate revenue so they don't go out, because I don't want to see us lose any businesses here in Rockingham County. It's tough as it is, but we want to see a lot of people thriving here in Rockingham County. Our citizens, our businesses, and therefore.
And I know initially when the pandemic was announced and the lockdowns came on the state level, Rockingham County citizens overwhelmingly complied. They stayed at home. Nobody really knew anything about this new disease, and we wanted to err on the side of caution. As we learned more about it, we felt like it's more or less up to the people to make their decisions on how they want to go about it.
As it should be.
As it should be, yes. I mean, just like you said, and the judge said there's no pandemic clause in the Constitution to make it null and void. And so we understand that COVID-19 is a serious disease. We do. But the Constitution is also a serious matter as well, and the freedoms of the people.
And it doesn't go away, and it stood for well over 200 years. But
you still have options. If you want to stay home, you don't feel safe, stay home.
Right. And back with the issue with the freedom of religion, if you want to have church inside, you can have it inside now. Mm-hmm. If you want to have it outside, or if you want to do broadcasts and stuff like that. I think one thing we've learned so far in a little over 2 months with this pandemic conversation is that we've learned how to do new things. Now, I want to give kudos to Roy Sawyers. Roy is our guy that helps us bring our message to the public, every month. He also brings a message from the local governments and also the county government. But we've learned, and we were just talking about it before the show started, is we've learned how to do more things with technological support, and it's just amazing. So, Americans are innovative. We're innovative.
Yes.
But with the technology and stuff nowadays and stuff like this, Zoom and all these other type of...
Before the middle of March, I had never even heard of Zoom before,
Yeah.
and now it's kind of a staple that we do a lot of business on, a lot of meetings, a lot of school activities and so on and so forth.
One of the good things about this is I've noticed there are a lot more training webinars coming out that were not pushed as hard, because a lot of times it was pushed to get people physically to a location to do the class. And now, I've signed up for a couple of webinars this week that free for law enforcement to help us, and that we can sit in and attend and watch and understand, and it doesn't cost a cent, don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
So we're saving money.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping we'll see more and more of those webinar opportunities pushed out. I think that technology is really good. And we've also learned about, again, during the pandemic, is safety. Through our health department, we've learned about safety and cleanliness and stuff like this. And again, we've learned a lot.
Right.
But
and these are all still good practices. We're not saying go out and do whatever.
Exactly.
Use good common sense. Use social distancing guidelines. Cleaning and all these things are just it's smart to continue doing these things to stay safe.
Yeah, there were three things that
we're social distancing right now on the
exactly,
show, obviously.
Exactly.
Yes.
But there were three things during the conversation of COVID-19 in North Carolina and across the country. Three things you have to remember is number one, you have to look at the public health information and the recommendation. You have to look at that. Mm-hmm. You also have to look at the economic impact that COVID-19's had on our society, and also how do we recover from that.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and then with those two issues, you also can never forget the Constitution and what it stands for. So those three, there's a balance there.
Yes.
But we can
very
never,
delicate balance.
Very delicate, but we can never forget, because we're Americans, and just like our license plates say, first and freedom. Freedom is important, and I think we've seen over the past couple of months about when freedoms are tightened down on and locked down on, and you don't have all the freedom movement, you see the effect. And so again, I'll always fight for a free society, and I'll always fight for freedom here in our and what we can do here. But we have learned some good things from this situation. And again, I hope that we can recover. I hope that our businesses can get back to work. I hope our citizens get back to work, and of course schools. Now that's another thing. Can we talk about schools?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I met with Dr. Shotwell and some of the assistant superintendents over at the Eden Drive-In the other night. And some of the schools students had, and this is really good, the kids from the high school that are graduating from the different high schools in the county had input with the school system about how they want to do their graduation, and I thought that was fantastic.
Absolutely.
But coming up soon, Moorhead High School kids will do a drive-in graduation at the Eden Drive-In.
Which
and
is
that was their choice.
That was a great idea. Yeah, it absolutely was.
And so we'll see what the other schools do too. But I graduated from Reevesville, and you graduated from Rockingham, and you know how important that was to you and your family.
It only comes once in a lifetime.
You only do it once,
yes.
And stuff like that. So you want to have good memories. And COVID-19, 2020, there's some memories that probably not been good. Now another thing is, I say a prayer for all the people that have lost family members across the country, and even in Rockingham County, we've lost some persons, and then across the state. Say a prayer and thought for those families because of their loss. But again, tomorrow the governor comes out with possibly moving into phase 2, and we'll see where that goes and see how that affects. Because we in public safety, when government makes decisions, there's a cause and effect, and we want to see how that effect is. But rest assured to the citizens of Rockingham County that we're out here. Somebody asked the other day, were we operating? I said, absolutely. We didn't stop operating the sheriff's office. Public safety continues also. So if you need assistance, whether it's from the local police departments or the sheriff's office, 911 is that number you need to call if you need help and you need assistance. And again, we've learned some things about doing business a little different here at the sheriff's office, but we have always been operational, and we will continue to be operational here at the sheriff's office to protect our citizens, each and every one of you out in Rockingham County.
Which rolls into one of the most frequently asked questions that I've received as the administrative sergeant here at the sheriff's office, I receive a number of calls and emails to the sheriff's office, which I answer, and a lot of them have been centered around. A lot of them have been centered around gun permits. Are we still taking gun permits?
Absolutely.
Concealed carry permits? Are they still being processed in a timely manner? Is there any delays? Yes, we are still taking those permits, those applications. You can apply online for a purchase permit at rockinghamsheriff.com. You can submit it electronically. You can also download the packet application for a concealed handgun permit. We don't have that set up currently where it can be submitted online remotely, but you can go ahead and download the packet. It is several pages. I want to say 8 or 10 pages that you have to fill out, and bring that with you already filled out. Just don't sign it until you get here, because we've got notaries here that'll do that for you, notarize it for you.
We're still operating. If you are seeking a purchase permit, you can do it online to the rockinghamsheriff.com, or you can come in and apply. And the other one was convenience. And then the other thing is if I don't know, and I can't speak for the carry conceal classes outside where the private instructors are teaching. Some maybe are still running some small classes, because you can have up to 10 persons and stuff like that. But we're still processing carry conceal permits and purchase permits, and you'll get a phone call from me telling you, hey, when it comes in, I'll tell you to come pick it up.
Absolutely.
So that's, and it's not a robocall. A lot of people say, is that a robocall? And I go, nope, it's me. They'll give me a list of 50 to 100 or more, and I'll start calling. And so, a lot of times I'll come in on Sundays after church, and I'll call carry conceal permits, tell people to come in on Monday, start picking them up.
Right, exactly.
It's very important. So again, the sheriff's office has not shut down. We have our visitation, and this is another thing we're watching, is we have our video visitation here for a lot of families. If they have an inmate that's in our jail system, that people can come in, they set a time, come in, and they can go to the screen and talk to the person that's in custody.
In the lobby,
or near the lobby area.
Yes.
But we did suspend that temporarily during the COVID-19 situation in our country, in our state. But we also brought in a program called HomeWave, where if you at your home and you have a computer, you can actually connect with your loved one if he's incarcerated in our facility. There's a process, there's an application process, but if you're interested in that, you can go to rockinghamsheriff.com, and you can
there's a link to you.
And if you need to call our jail number, 336-634-3236, and you can contact our jail administrator or representative there, and they can tell you how to get on HomeWave if you would like, or if you're a senior that doesn't want to come out and stuff like this, but you still want to talk to a loved one, you can still do that from the comfort of your home if you have a home computer.
So the on-site visitation in the
was temporary.
kiosk,
that was temporarily suspended.
That's still temporarily suspended, but they can speak to their loved ones from their home.
That's right. And also, the phones. The phones have been operating.
Right.
So,
and you've given extra phone privileges.
Actually, Paytel. I got to give Paytel a shout out.
Yeah.
They were during a certain period. They were providing, allowing some free phone calls for our inmates while they were in, stuff like that.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that is acknowledged as well.
Again,
credit where credit's due. Everybody seems to be pitching in and helping out during the COVID crisis.
Right, and the thing is we adjusted some of our procedures and stuff like that, but and a lot of it's just the social distancing procedures, people coming in and out of the building and stuff like that. Same thing with the courthouse, same thing with the governmental center and the screenings and stuff like that. But initially we didn't know a lot. We're learning more now, and hopefully. It's a learning lesson that we can learn and improve some things we do, but also just remember that we never shut down.
Now you mentioned the courthouse. Probably the second most asked question that I've received over the past few months is the courthouse open? The courthouse is currently not open except for emergency hearings such as domestic violence related hearings, protective order hearings, and so on and so forth. That is tentatively, as of the time of this broadcast, scheduled to reopen, I believe, in
June 1st.
June 1st.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that gets extended or not, but as of now, it should resume on June 1st.
That's correct.
And along with that, the second question that I get right after that is, well, when's my new court date? I don't know when your new court date is. You could call the Rockingham County Clerk of Court and check with them, 336-634-6000, and ask to see when your court date, if you have a court date, when it has been rescheduled for,
Well,
because all of them from pretty much March through June the 1st have had to be continued, and they will all get future court dates, and I'm not sure when those will be scheduled.
Now, another thing is what I would ask the public to be patient. Working with the courts, the administrative office of courts, which over the top person there is the Chief Justice Beasley, and there's a committee, a task force that's made up for courthouse proceedings, and that made up of sheriffs, police chiefs, and other persons at time with the court system for the state. They're making recommendations to Chief Beasley. I just talked to Sheriff Clemens from down in Richmond County, and he's on the task force. And I told him some of the concerns that we were talking about locally with our courthouse concerns. Because one of the things is if there are restrictions on, if it becomes restrictions on how many people can come in, and how they do those procedures, call in notifications, stuff. So there's a lot of behind the scenes.
Surely they'll be operating under some sort of altered schedule or some sort of altered procedure.
Yeah, without any question, with a 3-month carryover, some of those cases, I see that it's going to be definitely some change in procedures. But hopefully the courts will be able to open back up after June 1, and we'll have a process in place to start moving those cases back through again and getting them before the judges and everything like that. So there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't hear about that's going on as we speak.
Absolutely. Well, switching topics right quickly, Mother's Day was a Sunday ago. Did you do anything with your mother?
We did.
I would ask you if you took her out somewhere nice, but nice restaurants and all. Most of them
we were able to do a meal. We were able to do a meal. As you said, a lot of masks going on and stuff like this. But we were able to have a Mother's Day event with my mom and stuff like this.
Awesome.
And she's 90, and we talk every day.
Right.
But and that's another thing I'd say is if you have a loved one, or a family member, or our seniors and stuff that are a lot of times they're not coming. A lot of times they're not going to come out and stuff like this. Make sure you communicate with them. Pick up that phone and call them.
Right.
If they do have access to a computer, send them a message, talk to them. But that phone,
do the FaceTime.
That FaceTime. But I was going to tell you, but just picking up that phone means a lot. That daily contact.
Sure. Just checking.
Make that call because a couple of months shut in is pretty tough. And I think a lot of people that are not seniors are seeing how it is to be, and it's what's interesting. I watch a few of the shows on TV in the morning and seeing how the news stations are doing the remote broadcasting. I'm seeing how kids are doing their school online and stuff like this.
Yes.
We got a lot of parents that are getting into the education field because they're having to do the classes with their kids, during this pandemic period. The school's been out.
I'm learning right along with them. Yeah.
So you're one of those part-time educators.
Exactly. I'm trying to be anyway. We pitch in and help out where we can.
Well, I do want to say is we appreciate our school system, our superintendent, our school board, all of our teachers across the county. They've done a tremendous job.
They've adapted very well, haven't they? On short notice, yes.
But also, I want to jump back into the health career field. We want to thank all our public health personnel, our nurses, our doctors, our paramedics, everybody, and all our public safety that have contact, our firefighters, everybody's had contact with the public during this period. We're working in some different circumstances and unusual circumstances, areas we've never done before, but everybody has adapted and really worked together real well. So just want to, hats off to all. I think that actually last week, I think it was actually a parade for public health workers over at Moorhead, UNCR.
Yeah, UNCR.
So a lot of people from public safety and rescue and hospital and fire and law enforcement came over and did a parade at the
just
hospital
to show our appreciation
at UNCR. So we thank everybody there.
We do. Now you mentioned the graduates earlier. I definitely don't want the show to go by without extending our congratulations to the graduates of 2020.
Absolutely.
They have worked hard over the years, and although 2020 is a strange year of doing things differently, you have earned the graduation, your diplomas there, and we want to congratulate you for all your hard work over the years.
I want to say congratulations to the students, graduating class of 2020 for a job
regardless of how you celebrate.
All schools in Rockingham County, and that would be McMichael, Moorhead,
Rockingham.
Rockingham.
And
I was going to let you say Rockingham.
Yeah.
And Reesville, my home school.
Right.
And don't forget, Rockingham Community College, early college. I think actually our early college graduated, they did their first graduation, didn't they, Roy? And so we want to congratulate them also. Everybody did a great job. So congratulations to all the graduates across Rockingham County for 2020. You did a great job.
Coming up Monday is Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. A lot of folks are getting a 3-day weekend vacation. There'll be some traveling going on, I think, especially if some of the Phase 2 kicks in for North Carolina. And I know some of the restrictions have lifted in other states, South Carolina and so on. So why don't you give us some safety tips with regards to travel and some things that you can remember if you're going to be away from home?
Well, as always, if you're leaving for a few days, stuff like this, talk to your neighbor, your trusted neighbor there, and let them know you're going to be gone. Maybe somebody can get up your mail. When you're going to travel, make sure you carry a cell phone with you. I always say a cell phone and a flashlight. You don't know if you're going to be traveling at dark. And again, make sure you check your equipment, check your tires, make sure your vehicle's in good operating condition before you head out on a trip. And then again, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Be patient with your other drivers.
Definitely
Don't be too big of a hurry. Keep checks.
Yes, if you go out on vacation, if you'll contact, I know a lot of local law enforcement agencies now do that, and we do it and stuff like you're going to be on vacation. You can contact the sheriff's office if you want us to keep check on your residence. We'll come by and check on it while you're gone, and make sure you give you a little peace of mind there. And again, just enjoy yourself. I know it's a lot on everybody's minds right now, but as the stay-at-home orders free up and stuff like that, and you're going to see more people moving about. We just appreciate. Be safe, but be patient. That's the big thing.
Yeah,
be patient.
Absolutely.
Now every time of year here we have a memorial ceremony at the Wentworth Veterans Park, and there'll be other memorial ceremonies around the state and other parts of the county. Let's not forget our veterans that have served, those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, and those veterans that are serving now. We thank you for your service and your dedication to your community and also your country. And we thank you. And again, if you're in the area of Wentworth, the Wentworth Veterans Park is located directly, across from the entrance to Rockingham Community College, and it's open. You can come out there anytime. And so again,
it's really cool too. If you've never seen it before, you should come out and see it.
They actually got a walking area too there. So
very nice little walking trail.
So if you got some time, come out to the Wentworth Veterans Park this weekend and do a walk around and stuff like this. Check some of the names and stuff. It's all history and stuff like this. But those names listed are veterans that have served and some that we lost during conflicts. So again, in wars. So again, let's don't forget those that have served. Those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, and those veterans and those military members that are serving now. We thank you for your service, and again, come out and visit our Veterans Park. Yeah,
it's really nice.
And last year the highway leading up to Veterans Park was named after Ray Kelly.
Right.
Ray Kelly Memorial Highway, and that was to remember Ray Kelly because Ray was very instrumental on getting our Veterans Park established where it is now, and was always there. Ray and Norma, his wife Norma Kelly, they were always there to do programs.
Super good people, absolutely. Well, with that, we're going to close out the show for this month. We thank you for tuning in to Sheriff Spotlight. We'll be back again next month.
Thank you.